What's up, guys? So I'm back with another video for you guys, but this one is a little bit different than the last one. So as you all know or can see, the last video I did a hair tutorial showing you how to get a nice sleek pony, but today I wanted to hit you with something a little bit different. Your girl is the jack of all trades. Let's leave it like that. Another thing that I do in my spare time is cook it down. Okay, in 2018 it's so easy for us to just go pick up food and pick up takeout over and over again, but honestly it gets old and we need to get back to our roots of eating at home. But just because we're cooking doesn't mean it has to be hard, right? So your girl is bringing to you a new cooking series on my channel, and it's going to be called Cooking Ain't That Hard. Period. I'm going to be just giving you guys a plethora of recipes that can get you guys started in the kitchen. It's great for beginners or people who just really don't have much experience in cooking, or don't really have a want to cook but want to make something that is really good and will blow the socks off of somebody. Like, I got you, boo. Watch this series. It's going to help you a lot. So without further ado, let's just get right into it. I'm going to show you how to achieve a great meal in literally little to no time for about $5 to $6 to serve a family of 5 or more. So my job here today is to show you guys that cooking is easy, right? So step number one, or rather tip number one, to make cooking essentially easier for you is to be prepared. And the number one way to be prepared in cooking is to have your ingredients, pots, pans, and everything else already set aside so that you know exactly what you're using. If you don't have an item, you can immediately go and get it, and you can make sure that you execute your plan the way that you want to execute it. So let's start. First of all, for this meal, we're doing it in 3 parts. You got the things that you need for the marinade. Then you have the things that you need for the actual cooking of the, like the seasoning and the cooking and the things that are going to go on the ribs. Not the marinade, but the things that go on the ribs. And then also you have your basics, the basics that you need, which are the 4-pack of boneless ribs. I got that from Food Lion. I know you can get it from maybe anywhere else, like Piggly Wiggly, or you can get it from Walmart, but I like to get mine from Food Lion when they do have the cut. Also for the side, I'm going to have macaroni and cheese, and this is just by Family Dollar brand. It really isn't anything too particular that I suggest to get. I just think boxed macaroni tastes like good macaroni no matter what you really which one you really get. Next we have for my vegetable, another quick and easy and short substitution from actually having to do hard work in the kitchen like your grandma did. Get canned vegetables, canned green beans, canned corn, things like that. You can't go wrong with them. You throw them right into the oven, throw it right into a pot, and it's done. Once the meat is done, that's it. You're pretty much done cooking. So that's it for the things that you need that are big. And I don't have the boneless ribs with me to show you now, because I'm going to show you in the next clip, because they're actually sitting in a marinade. So before we get to that part, let me tell you the ingredients for the marinade. So what I did, I marinated mine for about 7 hours, and this is exactly how I layered my pan. You definitely want to need some George's barbecue sauce for our base, and I just use a good amount to cover the bottom of the pan there. I also want to have black pepper, and of course with black pepper you have to have salt. One thing I'm going to debunk in this first cooking video, I don't know who said it, I don't know whose idea it was, I don't know who thought it was cute, but seasoning your food and only black pepper and salt is problematic. We need to stop it in 2018. Before 2019 comes around here, it needs to end. If you are seasoning ribs, chicken, barbecue, anything else with just salt and pepper, I'm going to need for you to tune into this cooking series, get your notepad out, and we're going to get you there. Because that's not it. No one wants seasonless food. Okay? ran over. So, also, for that marinade, we're going to need minced garlic. I use minced garlic over minced onion just for the simple fact that minced onion will make your house stink for days on end. And with the minced garlic, the black pepper, and the salt, I just put just a nice little sprinkle, nice little amount just to cover the bottom of that pan to make sure each and every rib is going to have what it needs on there. Also, you'll need a little dash of paprika. You want to be very, very sparing with this. You don't want to put too much. I just do a little dab just like this so that each one can be touched with it. It's mainly for just the color and enhancing the other flavors, but not really to do too much of itself. So you really don't need a whole lot of it. And lastly, I put precisely 3 tablespoons of brown sugar into the marinade, and that's just to give it a more sweeter feel. I am from the South, and we do think our food should be a little bit sweeter, so it's just a habit, and it tastes good, so just do it. You'll thank me later. I know it's weird, but you'll thank me later. So that's the things that you need for the marinade, and I'm going to go more in depth about that in the next clip, so don't worry if you got lost in that. And then lastly, the last section of things that you'll need is going to be the things that are going to go on the actual ribs. Like when it comes out, what seasoning are we going to put on the ribs after it comes out that first and second roast. So I have also some seasoning salt that you can add to your ribs for flavor. Being mindful that this is very salty. You need to use it very much so in moderation, just like the paprika, because it will make your food very salty, but it is flavorful. So if you get the right amount up there, it really enhances your food the proper way. So you'll get the hang of it. And I don't have a measurement for you, so that's why you might need to Google it. But cooking is still easy. Don't overcomplicate it. When you put seasonings on it, it's going to taste good regardless because it went from being bland to not bland. So don't overthink it, okay? Also, I like to have a little bit of Creole seasoning. This is the Zatarain's brand. I don't know if it's different from the other ones. It's the first time I even had Creole. It's just really good. And I also like to mix up my barbecue sauce here and there. But for tonight, we're going to have sweet and spicy and hickory smoked barbecue sauce mixed together to give our ribs that nice glaze of barbecue. And yes, that is my secret that I just gave to the whole world, is to mix the barbecue sauce. If everybody in the world is making barbecue sauce using Kraft barbecue sauce, but only using just one, you know, like this sweet and spicy flavor, then everybody's tastes sweet and spicy. But if you mix sweet and spicy with hickory smoke, how many people are really doing that? You know what I'm saying? It puts you in your own league a little bit for making ribs. So that's about all the ingredients that you need. I will list one substitution. If you don't like the Georgia barbecue sauce or you can't find it because it is a southern thing, then you can be able to get this apple cider vinegar. It's Bragg's organic vinegar, or any apple cider vinegar will do. It really doesn't matter. And then that'll still give you that same tenderness going into your food that you want, but not so much overly seasoned. So now that we've gone through all of our ingredients and we have everything ready, and I do have over there just a regular pot for the macaroni and a bowl for us to cook our greens in, but everything else, we pretty much have all we need. So let's jump right into how we're going to make this marinade and what is it supposed to look like after being marinated. Let me let you guys take a peek into what exactly has happened to the ribs over the last 7 hours that it has been marinating in the sauce that I made. Ooh, and I mean, it smells delicious and it's not even cooked. So, as you can see, I'm going to tilt it here for you guys. There's a little bit of juice in there, which is that's that Georgia's barbecue sauce to give it that extra flavor as it's cooking up in there. And then on top, I just added a little bit more of that seasoning salt, the Creole, the black pepper and stuff, just to make sure that my ribs had enough seasoning on each and every one of them, that it was going to be good and flavorful in each and every piece. I also took them with some tongs here and flipped them over just to make sure that they both had access to that juice and that everything is well seasoned, well drenched in this formula that I made, and well taken care of. I mean, it just looks beautiful. And this is just a small square pan, nothing too much, with just enough there to cover the bottom. Alright, and what we're gonna do we're going to close this back up. I have read that you can keep it open at this point because we're just doing the first half of the roasting process. But personally, I like to have it closed. I'm just scared of my food drying out, and I'm going to do everything I can to protect it from that happening right away. And we have that oven preheated to 425. So now let's get these ribs into the oven. Ooh, it's hot in there. See you guys in 30 minutes. Sounds like a party. Did I scare you? I hope so. So what we're going to do, we want to cautiously, because it is hot, open this up. And I just use some tongs. My mama always tells me that aluminum foil doesn't retain heat like we think it does. But I don't want to get burned, so I never took heed to it. But you guys are more than welcome to try my mama's advice. She might be right. Alright, so that's open up. Ooh, and as you can see, we're working with something good here. Looking good, smelling good. Let me give you a little sneak peek. For it have only been in there 30 minutes. We're looking good, looking tender already. Awesome. I have our hickory smoke barbecue sauce. I was going to give it a nice little dab over each one of them. And at this point, you don't really want to use the whole thing. We have 1 more hour to go of cooking this, so the water is going to be significantly lower in about the next hour, next 45 to an hour of this. So we're just going to be we're just putting this up here a little bit, just to get it introduced into the flavoring process, and then we'll go ahead and yeah. And you want to just give them a nice little turn on each and every one of them so that we have a nice little bit of brownish color on them. And they are smelling delicious. Let me give you guys a close-up. That is what we're working with 30 minutes in on the temperature 350. And we're going to let that cook for the final round of 45 minutes. And we'll come back to it and add more barbecue as necessary once we look at the damage that barbecue does cooking in there to that water. Alright. Oh my gosh, y'all. Mama was right. It's not hot at all. And now it is on 350. We're going to set that timer for 1 hour. Let's do 55 minutes just so we can come back and check on it before it gets completely done to see if we need to add anything to it. And I will see you guys in about 45 minutes because we'll go ahead and work on that macaroni and those green beans so everything is hot at the same time. See you then. Guess what? It's been about 45 minutes. So what that means is it's time to go ahead and get those sides cooking. Let's go. We are going to boil it. I have it on high, just some boiling water, and we're going to have it on our high setting just to go ahead and get it boiling. You can go ahead and add in a pinch of salt if you want to speed up that process. It will do just that for you. And we'll wait for that to boil. And then we're going to open these green beans. I know, my mama's cringing. My finger's not bleeding. It's going to be alright. Okay? I'm alright. Okay. And this is what they look like inside. Nice and already done, making Nicole's job easy. Great. And then we're going to get that bowl that we already had out to the side for this. Just any standard bowl to hold it. I did drain the juice out of them. I prefer mine to be, you know, not full to the brim with liquid. I'm not making green bean soup, just some green beans with some of that Lowry seasoning salt just to give it some color and some flavor. I like to do a little speck of black pepper and some salt. We're going to also put a little dab of this salt into that pot for our macaroni just to get it going a little bit faster, because we got about 10 minutes until we're going to be messing with the ribs again. Now, we're going to take these green beans and go ahead and get them into our microwave. And we're just going to sit them in there. You could put a napkin over top of them. And we're just going to let it sit just long enough for our macaroni to go ahead and get finished. Because this takes only like 2 minutes to make. And then this is going to take probably about 10 minutes added in the boil time. So that'll work perfect. So it's been about 5 minutes, 5-6 minutes. That salt really helped that water go ahead and boil a little bit faster. And I'm going to go ahead and open up that box of macaroni. And once you open it up inside, you just got these pasta noodles, and it comes with a little packet of cheese. We're going to set this off to the side. I like to keep it by where it's kind of getting hot at so it can melt a little bit better. And we're going to throw these right in. And it may stop boiling a little bit, but that's fine. It's going to pop back up. Kick back up in a second. It's just kind of stunned right now, like what in the world just happened to me. I let this cook, not really bothering it, occasionally stirring it, making sure that it's not sticking to the bottom of my precious gold pan. I let that happen for about 10 minutes just until it gets to the consistency you want it to. But Cookin made easy, it tells you on the back, it specifically says boil 8 cups of water, stir in macaroni, and cook for 8 to 10 minutes. See, I just knew that because I do it so often, but it's here if you don't know it. Cooking is easy, guys. Stop with the excuses. We can eat better. Now, while you're cooking your macaroni, you will see this happen, but guys, do not be alarmed. It's alright. If the water goes over the pot, it's only going to go underneath there, and it's just water. It's okay. But how to get it to die down, if it's just your food, you could blow on it, or you could just turn the heat down just a little bit, not too much, but I had it on high. I'm going to take it down from high to about level 8 and see if that'll go ahead and get rid of this. And it does. How I can tell if I'm not measuring it like specifically by time, I just take one out and look at it really closely and see if I can still see that it looks like it's not rubbery yet. Or if that's too hard to figure out, I let it dry off and squeeze it and just tell yourself, hey, do you like your macaroni this way or no? And that kind of helps me, because we all know if we eat macaroni, we know what we expect it to taste like. We know what we expect the texture to be, and we expect it to be kind of like a squishy. Alright, so this is what we are working with after boiling for about that 10 to 12 minute period. And we're going to go ahead and get that into a strainer just to get all that excess water out of there. You may have some stuck to the bottom like that. They're not burnt. They will move, but it's alright. You don't really have to worry about it. It's not that big of a deal. That nicely melted cheese, as it's been sitting up there, it's been getting better, getting kind of like stringy almost. It's like really limp. These are the sliced cheeses, just your regular sharp cheddar. Throw that in there because we like ours cheesy. Honestly, I feel like for some reason they don't put enough cheese in the packet. Like, I like my macaroni cheesy. I don't know about everybody else. And when it is nicely and melted by sitting on top of that stove the whole time the food is cooking, honestly, it comes out like butter versus the toughness it has when it comes straight out of the box. Just comes right out like nacho cheese, rather, instead of butter. We all know what it's supposed to sound like. If it don't sound like that, then something ain't right. Maybe dash something. That doesn't sound like that. Also, that's all mixed to perfection. I might add a little bit more black pepper. I like mine to have a little bit better, a little bit more specks on there, because I don't like I had no pepper in there. So I want to add a little bit of specks to that. Awesome. Mix that in so we got even specks all over. That looks more like it. Yes. You want to make sure every one of these noodles are not yellow anymore. Now the macaroni is done. We are now about to tend to our ribs, but first let's go ahead and get those green beans we did not forget about in here. We're going to go ahead and put them on 1 minute and 30 seconds. It says normally you can cook it on 2 minutes, but okay, your girl don't like her food piping hot, so we're not going to do that. But 1 minute and 30 seconds is good enough for it to match the temperature of everything else that we're cooking. Let's check on these ribs now. And you can immediately tell there's a difference in the color than it was a little while ago. We got more of a darker consistency. When you shake it or when you kind of twist it, you should be looking for your meat to kind of be breaking at some part, and it is right here. As you can see, it's ripping there, or you want it literally falling off. You see how easy that's breaking? I don't want to break it because I want to keep them cute, but that just lets you know Nicole don't make no food that ain't tender, baby. That's thanks to Georgia. This actually looks good and done as it is to me, but I didn't get to put that other half of I did sweet and spicy. I didn't get to put some more hickory smoke on here, so I may let that run in here for that last 3 minutes that was left on the timer.
Reminds me of a dad.
And that sounds like victory. Took me about an hour and a half to complete and fully execute. So now let's go on to plating. Let's open this up and see what we have first. Honey. Honey, 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 ooh, honey, look at that, honey, ooh, 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 yeah, girl, I had to give it to you. I had to give you that Beyonce breakdown, because the way that was breaking down, I tell you right now, this will end your life. It's that good. Oh girl, adding a bit of mac and our greens. Ladies, when I tell you, your man will think that you went somewhere and learned how to execute this meal. He will. Okay, and put that little bit of juice up there. I like to give it that flavor. And let's look at what we're honestly working with here. Wow. You guys, in an hour and a half, not hard at all, you've just prepared boneless ribs, macaroni and cheese with greens on the side. This is a grown man plate for no effort at all and minimal time. This is amazing. Not to mention the cost. The ribs only cost about $4 at Food Lion. The macaroni is $1, and the green beans are sometimes 76 cents. How about that? So let's be real here. What do you think? Like, did that not just blow your mind that that extraordinary of a meal looks like it was made at a store somewhere? And I literally did it by myself in an hour and 30 minutes. Not that difficult at all. And really, got to sit down and watch 2 whole YouTube series pretty much just relaxing while it cooked. Like, you cannot beat that for $6. It's really not that hard at all to execute and cook a great meal. But I hope you guys enjoyed. Definitely like, comment, share, subscribe, and let me know what you guys want to see more of or what you want me to do next. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.